Let's take a look at how women use dating apps in today's day and age. It looks a little something like this. No, 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 no. Maybe. Now, let's compare that to how men use dating apps in our current age. Looks like this. Yes, 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 yes. Right? We are in a brand new dating era that we have never been in before. Never before in the history of the world have we been able to pick up this device and have at our fingertips millions of romantic possibilities. This new era that we're in gives us the illusion that we have millions of choices, right? And I say illusion because there's not real choices. We don't have the choice. Not everyone would respond to us on this dating app, but it makes it seem like we have millions of choices. But what is the cost of having all these choices? Because every choice that we have is a decision that needs to be made. And there's research that shows how the human mind works and what's at stake when we have too many decisions. So you and I, we make on average 35,000 decisions a day. And the more decisions we make, the more tired our brain becomes of making those decisions, right? As you and I, we feel this as human nature. As you progress through your day, your mind gets more tired. There was a Stanford professor and his colleague who actually studied this. And they went to an Israeli prison and they studied prisoners who were up for parole. And the prisoners who actually had their hearing in the morning had a 70% chance of being paroled. Compared to those who had their hearing in the afternoon, their chance of being paroled dropped to just 10%. Why? What they discovered is decision fatigue. You see, the judges were tired of making decisions. So what happens to the brain when we have too many choices, when we experience decision fatigue, is we do one of two things. Either first, we look for shortcuts. We look for ways to shortcut and make the decision easier because we're tired. Or number two, we just decide not to decide at all. I'm sure you have friends who have been on dating apps and who have gone through the whole process and they just say, F it. I'm done. Like, I'm getting off the dating apps. This isn't working for me. They basically decide not to decide at all. And other people who are looking for shortcuts, ways to make it easier. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can become his obvious choice when dating. 3 shortcuts that you can use to rise above the noise, to stand out from everyone else and become his obvious choice. Check it out. Now, because almost everyone who's online dating is talking to and going out with more than one person, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do on a date that will help you stand out from everybody else. Number 1 is choose. Too often on a date, when you're on a date, the objective is not to get him to like you. You probably have friends that their whole objective is to, on the date, try to get him to like her. They're seeking validation in that moment, and that never works. And that's a lot of women. Some of my coaching clients will be on the phone and she'll say, well, he didn't call me back. He didn't text me back. He didn't follow through. And I say, well, wait a minute. After the first date, did you like him? Did you want him to call you back? And they'll think about it. Oh, yeah, no, I really didn't like him either. Well, good. So this is actually a mutual departure. So that's a good thing. Number 1 is choose. You want to be the chooser, not wait for him to choose you. When you are the chooser, that positions you differently than if you're just seeking validation. If someone's seeking validation, that makes the guy think that he's already won your heart, without having to demonstrate who he is, without having to put energy into the relationship or interaction, without having to really earn the right to be your man. And if he's not earning the right to be your man, then he isn't valuing the relationship very much. Men want women who are desirable. So what qualities does a desirable person have? I'll give you a pop quiz. I'm going to put a bunch of qualities up on the screen right now. And while all these qualities are great, In fact, you might want all these qualities in your man. Only one of these qualities actually communicates on a subconscious level that you are desired. So which is it? Take a look, see if you can guess the right one. The only quality on here that communicates that you are desired by others is this one, selective. You might be thinking, oh, successful, playful, smart, funny is great, but it's selective that really is the one that cuts through all the noise. And the reason why is this. Successful people are selective, are they not? They're selective about who they work with. They're selective about the kind of deals they do. Highly attractive people are selective. Are they not? They're not just going to go out with anybody. They're picking and choosing. Who do I want to be with? So when you are selective, when you're the chooser, that subconsciously communicates that you are desired, that you have options, that you have other men who are interested in you. And when you have other men interested in you, that naturally raises the attraction that he has for you, especially when you choose him, you select him, he feels special because he feels like you're selecting him over all the other guys. This brings me to number 2, which dovetails perfectly with number 1, which is certainty. Now, you and I both know that certainty communicates confidence, but there's a certain expression of certainty that I encourage you to take on, and that is the certainty to actually tell him the things you like about him. Tell him the compliments, tell him how attractive he is, tell him the things that you like, because now, certainty when combined with selectivity is magic. Certainty where you're just gushing about someone and you're trying to get them to like you, that is kryptonite. It crushes the attraction in the relationship. But when you're selective and you're also telling him things like, wow, you've got great style. Like, wow, I really love the way you perceive the world. It's really different than how other people think. Or, wow, like you're really sexy in that outfit. I don't know, you can't wear that, or you can't wear that jacket around me. It's turning me on too much. And you're playful and you're actually giving him compliments. What that's doing is that's drawing him in. So many women do the opposite of this. They will guard their compliments, they'll withhold their affection, they won't share any demonstration that they actually like him because they're afraid that if they show they like him, he will instantly stop liking her. They've been taught to be hard to get. And that's actually the opposite. Studies show we like people who actually like us. And so when you are selective, when you say, look, it takes a special guy to win my heart, but I like you, I like this, I like that, I think this is sexy, then what ends up happening is he starts to feel your approval. He starts to feel you're selecting him. He starts to feel that you are certain about the things that you like and the things that you are putting as a standard for him to earn. So both have your choosing of him and certainty about the thing you like. Those two things go together is magic. Now, if you want to take this deeper, actually, I created a great ebook for you that you're going to love. It's called The 5 Feminine Qualities That High Value Men Find Irresistible. You can click on it right here. I'll put a link up here, and it will take this whole conversation to a deeper level, give you some skills that you will love. And this brings me to number 3, which is courage to be real. Courage. So often people are trying to put their best foot forward on the date, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they do it in a way where they try to seem perfect. They try to seem like they've got it all together. They're perfect in their job. They're perfect in their past. They're perfect in what they're eating. They're perfect in all these ways. And it puts this up front of like this looking good program that they have that actually creates disconnect. Because what rises above the noise, what you and I can sniff out is someone who isn't real, someone who isn't being authentic. And unfortunately, so many people crave real connection, but they don't know how to create it. One of the fastest ways to create it is through authentic connection, being real with the other person, which means being vulnerable. So when you have the courage to be a little bit vulnerable about some of the things you're sharing about, maybe some of the challenges that you're facing or some of the dreams that you're having. I've done a whole other video on how to be vulnerable in a relationship. You can check that out if you want more details of that. But when you are choosing him, when you are certain about what you like about him and you have the courage to be real, that rises above the noise of everyone else, and it makes his choice simple, is that you are the one he wants to be with because you are so different from everyone else out there. This will make you 99.5% different than everyone else he is dating. So now I have a question for you, and this is something that can actually really help the men out there. And that is, how can he stand apart from the crowd? How can he become your obvious choice? What qualities do you look for? What behaviors do you look for that can help him be the man that you are actually choosing, the man that you want in your life? Because a lot of men, they want to create that connection with you. They want to be the man in your life. They just don't know how. They don't know what really you're looking for. Post that in the comment section below. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.